what it is. Peace to the whole fams. Peace to the entire Lions Den boxing community. Peace to Real Boxing Talk. Peace to y'all. Fucking if you're just listening. I wanted to make this video over some shit that's sort of been annoying at me to a degree. I wanted to do this video like before, not so much like exactly what I'm gonna say today, but did I want to make videos about the piece of shit that's titled in my video? Yeah, many times. There are at least 3 times where I wanted to like detail every instance that I had with him, all the countless phone calls that I try to make to him, all the countless nasty texts that I left to him, which went unresponded. That's text and phone calls that went unresponded. All the insults I threw in his direction, like behind the scenes, and I got receipts of all that stuff too. But I guess it's not necessary because I'm not gonna be. I don't have beef with that fucking little kid. Like I wouldn't have beef with a drug addict. You know, somebody who's clearly on crack. Like literally, like if you check his last video, the dude, you know, you could tell he just got his Social Security, like maybe some back payment, and probably bought a whole cookie of those krills, on them crons, smoked that shit, and then thought it was a good idea to show his toothless ass on camera. But a dude like that, I mean, like I don't got no beef with him, because it would speak ill of me. You know, do I think he's a clown? Absolutely. Do I think he's a bitch made? For sure. Is he scared of me? You betcha. Fucking but you know, not everybody who, you know, he ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. Like you know, but before I even get into that, like I'll probably detail some of the instances I had with this clown ass dude. But I wanted to say, like, you know, I have a little bit of an issue in the sense that you let like people like police channels, or that people are policing channels, because it gives a avenue for a crab like fucking this queen ass dude to latch himself onto. Like I'm almost 100% sure that the general or the powers that be didn't tell that dude in particular, you know, go police channels. I think he threw himself onto that whole cause. And I'll tell you exactly what he's gonna do. He's just gonna make it seem like, oh, you know, well, dudes ain't about it like I'm about it with this fucking internet shit, and eventually he'll probably beef his way out of the LDBC, and make it seem like, oh, like that the whole collective at the LDBC weren't gangster enough for him on some internet shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think ultimately he's gonna do. Like, you know, what I think already happened is that when it came to this whole thing of policing channels, that he threw himself into that, probably unwarranted, like probably without permission. And then you know, since he has all the time in the world, you know, he could go like on people's chats and like look who's writing what, or look on like CJ's chat to check who's on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so eventually, like you know, and he wants to make a name for himself. Like if you go to his videos, I mean, he ain't talking about shit. Like he's even admitted to not watching boxing until he started watching Deontay Wilder's highlights. And Deontay Wilder just started fighting. He mentioned in a video where he wanted to snitch on his own brother and tell his parole officer like that his own brother was doing drugs. Meanwhile, he's like cracked out in his last video. This is all facts too. I mean, I hope he like leaves those videos up. Probably didn't, because he's prone to, like, in the past I saw that he's taken down videos. But if you ever want to look, I think it was a video that I actually jumped onto to try to save his ass, like, and maybe like to help him change the subject, like where he's like talking about snitching on his own brother, like to his brother's PO, in an effort to save him. Like, yo, what kind of cat from the street are you, bro? Like, what street are you from? Like, God, like, you know, is it? Even young cats don't say no shit like that, man, on camera. Dude's an idiot. But the only way that he's gonna generate any sort of fanfare for his channel, or like to put the spotlight on him, is on some beef shit. And what he's doing is that he's beefing with certain channel or channel A, and then saying that they're not to the standards of the LDBC, and you know, then that channel goes away, which a lot of these are very good channels. And then, you know, on to the next one. Like now this channel, like fucking up, because he don't agree with some bitch ass shit that his low life ass was listening to at the wee hours of the night. Now he don't agree with this cat, and then like this cat's a fucking, you know, he's talking about like this happened yesterday where he's talking about like somebody's unborn child, and I'm not gonna mention who, like where he wishes his unborn child was like born dead. Like, yo, like you like supposedly were on the inside, like, yo, minimal shit on the inside will get you murked, bro. Like, period, bro. Like you don't like, I know people, like how people talk, man. You don't talk like nothing you say, bro. And like on top of that too, man, like, you know, I'm not like with that whole, like I'm a grown man, bro. Like, but if I ever run across this cat, man, it's gonna be a little problem, bro. Like you know, and I'm not, you know, proponent of the violent shit no more, man. Like I've already lived a full life, man. But you just talk too reckless, bro. I don't like that shit, bro. Like fucking, and that's internet talk, man. Cause nobody in the streets talks like that. Like nobody, you know, like I've never, like, period. I never seen nobody like mention nobody's like unborn kid, man. Like, how you sound? But you know, as a community standard, I mean, like, you know, I don't think that we should police people's channel like that, like to that degree. That's going in too much, man. On top of that too, you're policing chats. Sometimes I'm insulted by like how somebody sounds via text. Like when somebody texts me in real life, and like I'll call them and check them, and they'll tell me like, you know, I ain't even mean it like that, like, you know, like, or you reading into it wrong, and a lot of times I'm wrong with shit like that. And like, so you're gonna do that with the whole like litany of people's YouTube channels, like like go through all their chats. And I know a lot of it has to do with CJ, like maybe like talking shit about, like, you know, the powers that be within this community. I respect that. But even to a degree, like, motherfuckers are going in too much on that shit, man. Like, cause if it's some shit where like he was talking like reckless, and like motherfuckers are jumping on, like, oh, you know, this, like if he were like per se, and I'm giving an example, running off like at the mouth and saying like, oh, this guy's a fucking whatever, and then like another cat like jumps in the chat and like starts co-signing, like, I totally get that, man. That's some snake shit. But you know, you're just doing too much, man. Like, and then like you don't even do too much and like try to reach to a motherfucker like on the side. Like if you saw somebody like in a chat like where you thought he ain't belong, like, you know, like you could always reach out to the dude. Like, you know, everybody like for the most part has been in some form of Google Hangouts. I know I have. And this isn't even like something that's happened to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something that I've seen like with other channels or with people I fuck with, you know, being called out by some fucking nobody or nobodies. And I know for sure they ain't reach out, like, you know, and like reach out like on the sideline. And every time I've seen that, like where somebody's reached out to somebody I fuck with, I'll like, and I had that Google Hangout like shit. I've reached out to them personally, man. Ain't nobody picking up, man. That's some bitch shit too. Like I don't understand. Like there's a lot of these cats that like are in this whole like policing channel shit, and I've reached out to almost all of them, bro. If I ain't reached out to them, I don't know who the fuck they are, basically. I mean, like, and none of them pick up, bro. Like, yo, pick up if there's an issue like that, man. Like, yo, like fucking like go tell me to fuck off, like on the phone or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like, yo, I don't agree with you because of, you know, why. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't gonna like go tell you to go fuck your mother, like, or like, yo, like it's not that serious, bro. It's the internet, man. Like, you know, I'll even tell you, you know, like I understand your point in some instances with that queen bitch motherfucker. Nah, I would like he's a piece of shit. Like he can't tell me shit because I've reached out to him countless times. Like, so him trying to call me at this point, it's only gonna be me insulting his ass, or if I see him, like it's only gonna be a little deficit for him. But anybody else, man, like, yeah, you know, like I don't respect none of that shit because I've reached out to most of y'all dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if it was an issue with myself or somebody who I fucked with, and it seems seemingly there is an issue because like I be jumping on people's chats and like people be on some fence rider shit like, yo, you do not know I'm fucking, my government name is Joey Cologne, bro. You do not fucking know me, like, period. I'm not here like to try to fucking like sell myself like on some G shit, man. But like, yo, like, y'all on the internet, bro. Like, you know, that's not reality, bro. Like, fucking, I go wherever the fuck I want, bro. Like, and if it's like somebody who really is not like in tune with the issue, man, I got no problem with you. Like, you know, there's more like to people that have talked shit in the past, bro. Like, fucking, that stuff like gnaws at me, like, you know, and it, you know, I don't want to go off in a tangent with that shit, but you know, a lot of shit that could be solved with some behind the scenes conversations. You know, you're gonna try to bring it like to chats and all this shit, and then I see like some like real nondescript dudes who I don't even know, like throwing out like these whole fence rider shit. Like, I don't even know you, man. Like, you know, like how, like, who the fuck is you? You know, and like how is it that you're getting the information that like I'm a fence rider or so and so is a fence rider, or, you know, unless like there's some fucking herbs like having these kind of fucking low level conversations on the side about what goes on in internet chats. That's like low life conversation, my man. Like, you know, that shit is corny, bro. And like, and I know that's like that fucking moron Queen fucking Louisa. Like, I'm not saying that he's at the forefront necessarily because he's too stupid, but do I think he's involved in a lot of that shit? Yeah, man, I do, man. Like, fucking, and you know, if you go like following behind or even like walking side by side with Queen like fucking Louisa, like, I mean, that's on you, bro. Like, I mean, but if like, I mean, like, like, and this is not like if you jumping onto that shit like late, like, so for instance, if like I never really like checked for you like that or peeped you like that, and then you go like popping shit to me, I'm not even gonna take that shit to heart, man. Like, you know, I may not even respond to no shit like that. I'll just tell you to reach out to me. But for these other cats, man, like, you know, I've already like tried to make inroads, like, and try to reach out to these cats, and like, you know, they ain't ignoring me because I'm not a factor like that. Because if you're already talking like conversations about me as to I'm a fence rider or whatever the hell have you, then, you know, you must be thinking about me in some fashion. So when I go and call you, like, and you don't reach out, then that's on you. Then you ain't bothered like that. You know, like, you just talk. I don't fuck with dudes that'll just talk. I don't like passive aggressive. I like aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's whatever with these dudes, man. Don't let these young, dumb, low-life motherfuckers set the trends as to what belongs in this community, man. We have a beautiful thing, like, with the Lions Den boxing community. And I told this to the general when he jumped onto a live that was, in which I was on with Michael Johnson, Boxing Talk and more. And I told him, you know, like, this is a good thing that you've built, and like, you know, it, and I think it could go even farther than that. You know, it's hard to get like people of color, Black, Spanish, to fucking chill at a barbecue, and the cops not breaking it up, or a little fucking shooting happening, or like a fight, fucking, and we have this thing where it's sowing shines of wear, or like sowing shines of going into some dumb shit because of dumb motherfuckers, man. Like, you know, like, never listen to dumbass people like in life, period. You know, Luwee, I said his name like fucking, I ain't want to, but Queen Luwee is the equivalent of the guy on the block who's playing lookout riding his bike. And he'll never amount to anything beyond that. He could be the best lookout and he could, you know, be pushing along them pedals, like, and spot out the ops, like, you know, to a fantastic level. But you know that he can't be trusted with no real like work, because he's useless. And then you're gonna have him, like, to some degree, with this LDBC shit, you know, checking dudes or policing dudes, like, you know, when he's a piece of shit, like he's just like a grimy, nasty ass person. And you know, if the powers that be don't agree with me, and fucking and they tell me, you know, like stop rocking like the LDBC tag or moniker. I mean, it is what it is, man. I can't do anything about it. Would I like to be a part of the Lions Den boxing community? Absolutely. I mean, like in theory, like nobody told me I'm down like in from Jump Street anyway. But I mean, if they tell me I'm not down, like real people tell me I'm not no fucking Queen Luwee's bitch ass who wasn't even part of this shit when I started popping my head in. But if the people that are in charge like tell me, you know, fuck off. I mean, like it is what it is. I don't got no problem. You know, I don't got no beef with the people up top, man. Like, you know, like I said, I respect what they built. You know, Boxing Talk was like terrible before, like, you know, we started coming around like in force like this. But you know, if they tell me like, you know, to fucking, you ain't a part of this shit no more, like I don't got no beef, man. Like, you know, I don't got no beef. I'm not gonna go running off like fucking saying like fuck the community in general. Like fuck certain individuals, like yes. And most of those people like are not content creators and don't matter for shit anyway, bro. Especially fucking Queen Luwee's bitch ass. Fuck Queen Luwee. Peace.